Welcome back everyone to our gameplay series of Pure Farming 2018. So as you can see, we have a nice boat in the background, which I'm pretty sure is about to take a nosedive straight into the water. But that aside, that tells us that we are in a different place. We are definitely not on the Montana map anymore. You can see we have some wind turbines in the background, which I honestly didn't even know existed on any of the foreign maps, but we are here in Italy. So why are we here in Italy? Because we haven't been here before. The only foreign map we have gone to before now was, of course, the Japanese map. But now we are here in Italy because a brand new update has been released by the Pure Farming developers and adds two new pieces of content to the game. And the reason why we are in Italy is because there are now orange orchards in Italy. And if we pull up our map, you can see that, maybe, there we go. So we broaden this thing out. Here is the entirety of the Italian map. Now again, this is our first time being here, but we've got grapes and olives scattered all across the map. But what we're here about today there are two orange orchards. Okay, and the one that, as we zoom in a little bit more, you can see we are actually very close to orchard number 2. And I've also done a little bit of shopping ahead of time. Just to save us a little bit of time in today's video, I've gone ahead and bought, hopefully, all of the equipment we will need in order to get started in the oranges. Now we've got two boats over here that seems to be doing some sort of a race. And right on cue, the game is going to freeze up a little bit. So over here we see that we have our orchard sprayer, and then of course our orchard tractor, both very cheap pieces of equipment. Together they only cost about 25 grand if you purchase them directly from the purchasing center, which is right over in that direction. And then I have also splurged a little bit more than I needed to and gotten one of my favorite McCormick tractors, and then also a water tank that we're going to need. So let's go ahead and start off. First of all, I've not purchased any of the orchards, and quite frankly we almost ran out of money. You can see in the top right hand corner we have almost $28,000 remaining. And so how we got there was on the Montana map I finished up with the harvesting of the other fields, so that sort of went completely awry and we did not get the results we wanted. So we're going to sort of put that on the back burner for a little while, and hopefully the developers can come up with something to help us out on the field work. But until then, we're going to be dealing with the Japanese map and now the Italian map. So we're going to drive over here to this orchard. You can see, I mean, this thing is huge. There are a ton of trees. And again, if we go back to the map, I mean, as we zoom in, just take a look at how many trees there are. This is nothing like the Montana map. I mean, they're everywhere. All right, so as we drive over here closer, and let's see, are these, surely these cannot be free of charge. Wait a minute, what is over here in the thing? Are there already, all right, this is worth, yeah, there we go. Finally we get the buy icon. So it's worth $17,000, which again seems really, really cheap. Really cheap. These oranges must be worth like next to nothing per tree because we have a ton of trees, and it looks like we've already got a ton of something. Admittedly, those do not look like oranges to me, but apparently we have some oranges already in there, so I did not expect that. Let's go ahead and buy this orchard. So we got 17,000. I would love it if there was an upgrade available for these orchards just to see what it would do. So now you can see we have 10 grand. All right, can I go ahead and unload? Yes. Let's go ahead and fill up the water and see what that does. Okay, so that's going to get us to 100%. We had seen on the Japanese map that that wasn't necessarily the case with the cherries, but now that's good. One tank equals a full amount of water on the orchard, which again is hard to believe given how huge this orchard is. All right, so let's bring our tractor and our water tank back over here. For now, we'll be back to that tractor here momentarily. Let's see, we're going to not look as we cross the street. And can I get in the tractor? Yes, I can. That is a very narrow roadway. Very narrow. All right, pesticide, yes, please. So now I'm excited to see, I mean, do we really already have oranges that are ready for us? But first, of course, we have to get busy spraying. Now, I'm going to go ahead and spray anyway, regardless of what this thing says, but let's take a look at our weather, and it looks like we are in great shape for about the next 5 days. Yeah, we are in awesome shape. All right, and of course, if you remember, we are not allowed to hire any sort of AI help whenever you are spraying the orchards, which, I mean, honestly, it's just not that big a deal. Actually, it's kind of fun. I mean, look at all of these trees. Wow. That would be interesting to see. Do we have enough? Actually, it looks like I'm spraying the wrong direction, to tell you the truth. All right, let's look. Go ahead and turn that off for a second. Yeah, I'm spraying the wrong direction. How about that? Good way to start out. Okay, let's go ahead and get turned around here. I thought I was spraying the right direction. Who knows? It might not even matter. Another quick look at the map. Yeah, I'm not so sure it matters. So I've already missed the two at the end. Yeah, let's just go ahead and spray. I don't know that it's going to matter a whole lot. Who knows? I might spray any sort of way. All right, let's go ahead and get started again. But yeah, depending on what angle you're looking at this, it looks like either way would be okay. But I'm beginning to think the other way was actually the best way for sure, now that I get on into this and after looking at the map. But either way, no matter. All right, yep, that was definitely. But see, look, once I look at it from this angle, I'm like, wow, okay, that's the long way. So yeah. But now I think I've made up my mind. I'm gonna go this direction, and we'll take it from there. So again, there are grapes and also olives on this map as well, which that will lead us into, well, after we get done with the grapes a few times, we'll see how much money they bring us, and if they're anything close to the cherries on the Japanese map, then we are in for a treat, because those cherries paid for themselves. I mean, the entire orchard paid for itself the very first time we harvested, so it's hard to beat that. All right, it almost looks like it's letting us go a little bit faster spraying on this map. It seems like 6, and normally 4 or 5 miles an hour was about the fastest we were allowed to go on the Montana map, but here we're getting a little bit faster than that. So with the oranges, for those of you who might have purchased the game directly through the developer's website at release or thereafter, then you have had oranges the entire time. But for those of us who have been playing on the Steam edition, purchased through Steam, we have not had oranges. So this is a brand new update for us, and a brand new item in the game for us. And I know there was quite a bit of controversy about the oranges after release, as most people, including me, did not realize that there were different versions available whether you purchase from Steam or directly from the developers. So now it's good to see that they have remedied that, and now I believe everybody has the same content regardless of where you indeed decided to purchase the game. Alright, yeah, there are just a ton of trees out here. If we get any sort of a yield out of this, we are going to be making tons of money, and the return on investment is going to be huge. But something tells me, given the price we paid for this orchard, that we're probably not going to get, it's either not going to be a huge volume of oranges, or the oranges themselves are going to be worth very little. We'll have to wait for, oh, look out. The sprinklers are right in the way. I mean, like right in the way. Luckily, I don't think there's any collision on them. Otherwise, we would be in deep trouble right now. Good news is they're going to be sprinkling those pathways quite nicely. Not sure how much of that water is ever going to get on the actual trees, but also the good news is, because I'm waiting for the sprinklers to actually activate over the next little bit, now that we have the water storage full and the water level is at 0, I'm sure they're going to turn on. And luckily for us, that is not going to trigger us to have to respray as the rain does. Alright, so look at that. It's not going to come out. If you look at the bottom left-hand corner in the mini map, it looks like we're going to have to make one more extra turn. All right, this did not turn out. The math on the number of times through here just didn't turn out all that well. Because what we saw in Montana is you could make nice even numbers of swipes through these fields and get all the trees. But now we're going to have an extra lane of trees that are going to get sprayed twice. Alright, so this will take care of our duties, and we did end up having enough. Alright, I believe we got all the trees. Okay, let's take our orchard tractor back over. Now there was one more piece in the update in addition to the oranges, and we'll be looking at that back on the Montana map, actually at the very end of this video, assuming we have enough time, which I believe we will. I believe we're going to be in great shape. All right, let's go ahead and detach, and we're going to actually head back over to where I have gone ahead, and as I mentioned, I've bought the equipment ahead of time. Hopefully all the equipment we're going to need, at least until we get into the olives and the grapes, that is, because I know where they have their own dedicated equipment. But I have actually left the trailer right over here. So we're here on the beach. It's a nice beachfront property that we have, very near the beach with our... Ooh, watch out now. There ain't enough room for both of us. Watch out. Okay, or you... Yeah, that's right. You beat the horn at me. That's sure. That makes a lot of sense. As you were driving down the middle of the road. Sure, we'll go with that. Yeah, this definitely is not wide enough for everybody that's trying to get down it. Okay. White car, if you will let me get out of the way, I will be happy to do so. Alright, here we go. So we got our tractor, and now we've got something to hook to it, because now I'm all excited to see if we're about to find out how much these cherries are worth. And again, they didn't look like cherries to me. But we're gonna find out. We might get some free money here. Maybe that was part of the developers, sort of like a welcome wagon for us here on the new map with the new oranges. The other oranges are located right over there, right behind where we purchased the vehicles. And if you look on the map, you can see that it is actually bigger than the one we're dealing with, and costs a little bit more. It costs $20,500 as opposed to the $17,000 that we purchased for our current orchard. So if these turn out to be very profitable, then by all means we will be purchasing that second orchard. But to the best of my knowledge, there is no special equipment needed to work the oranges, as there are with some of the other things like the olives and the grapes. But now it's time to find out if we're about to get our first harvest right after purchasing the land. Okay, why are we only traveling 14 miles an hour? This is a very powerful tractor, comparatively speaking, and we are barely moving. Now we're going 20 miles an hour. Now we're talking. Okay, sprinklers still have not turned on. Let's see, are you going to let me have what's in this box right here? No, you're not. Whoa, wait. Wait. No, you are not going to let me have what's in that box. I really want what's in that box. Like, really badly. Especially now that I see there's something in there. But yeah, that does not look like any sort of a... Okay, it's not going to let me see that. And if I get out and walk... he said... There we go. Can we see that? What is that? Okay, these are not oranges. However, the water storage that's right there is for the oranges. And it won't let me have whatever this is. I could believe those are grapes. I could believe that. But that is definitely not what's supposed to be in here. Let's see. Let's just drive around a second. Is there anything else around here? Like maybe that's not where we're going to pick those up. I gotta believe it is because it's right next to the water storage. There's another water storage right there. And a very interesting terrain section. That's gotta be it. I don't see anything else around. Yep, that's all I see. Oh well. All that excitement and I got no return for it. Yep, that's gotta be... Man, I was so hoping that was going to be a payoff immediately for us. I thought, man, we're not even going to have to wait. All right, so where is the pickup over here? So what are these? All right, so those are olives. And I don't even see where you would pick up these. Back to the map. Okay, nope, we're not going to get anything on the map. So that is completely useless to us. But hey, it's not the end of the world. All right, also, let's go into our notifications and let's just catch a quick glimpse at where we are. So all of our fields, these have not been replanted after our recent excursions on the fields. We're going to let that ride a little bit because I do not like the way things were headed. And I would just as soon not work those fields if they're going to be messed up like that. We'll find other ways to use our time, such as the animals and now the cherries and hopefully the oranges long term. Let's see, the cow barn, I've actually taken care of the milk. I sold the milk recently, so that has been taken care of. And let's see, in a couple of days, we're going to have the cherry orchards. And so we're going to get tons of money from those. Unless they've nerfed those. Alright, the orange orchard here on this map at water level. Okay, we're not worried about that. We've taken care of that. And it looks like we have done all we need to do. Alright, excellent. And we're making great time so far. So now it's time to head to Montana and take a look at the second part of the recent update. All right, so we're back now on the Montana map. Cost us a little bit of money, actually, traveling. I believe it was $1,200, so we're now down to $8,800. But we're going to need some money quickly, and thankfully, in the next few videos, we're going to get that since we're going to be harvesting some cherries, and that will definitely give us the money we need. So the second part of the update is a new front loader, and that is the JCB 435S, and it is a hoss. And I mean a hoss. So to give you an idea of how big this thing is, if you remember from previous videos, I had bought early on a dedicated tractor for the cows. Well, there it is, and you can see the relative size next to the JCB front end loader. Now, not only is it visually bigger, but if you take a look at the size of the buckets on these two, well, good job, game. Go ahead and just turn everything around, freeze up for me. You can see that this is a big difference. So let's talk a little bit about that, and then I'll hop in the JCB and see if I can't maneuver it just a little bit and get a bucket full of manure and start to load the manure trailer. So with our normal tractor that we've been using in front end loader and bucket combination, we could get 1,984 pounds of manure, which is pretty good. However, with our new front end loader, which by the way was free, both the loader as well as the bucket attachment, we can get 3,307 pounds of manure. So quite a bit different. Now, am I going to be allowed to get into the front end loader? Why can I not get in? So maybe it's confused. Maybe it's confused because it says, you know what, you were too close to both of those tractors, so we can't figure out which one you want to get in. All right, so let's move our controls around a little bit so you can see the action on. There's the range of the bucket. There's all the way if you're trying to dump out, and this is all the way back if you are carrying. So it gives you some idea of the maneuverability there. So all the way down and then all the way to the top. All right, so let's go ahead and bring it all the way back down. See if we can't load up a little bit of manure. So same idea. You just drive straight into the manure pile. There you can see 3,307. All right, here's where things get a little tricky for me. All right, let's see if I can't get this thing over to the trailer. I find that the best way to make sure you're close enough is to go ahead and ram into the trailer. Okay, I would say that's about as close as we can get. So the hit boxes are slightly off right there because you can see we don't appear to be hitting anything visually. Okay, but never mind that. We won't worry about that. But now it does appear as though we are close enough. However, you notice that nothing is happening. And boy, did this mess with my head whenever it first happened. Because I thought, wait a minute, do we seriously have a front end loader that will not load? Well, what you have to do is get it a little bit closer, and you can see that it goes ahead and dumps out. So if you leave it all the way at the top, which would appear to work just fine, that doesn't work. You need to actually get a little bit more angle in it and get it down closer. So let's look at that one more time. All right, this is how I had it to begin with, all the way up, making sure, again, we have plenty of clearance here on the trailer. That doesn't work. However, if you'll bring it down to somewhere in this range, it should unload just fine. So, not bad at all, and this will definitely be my new piece of equipment to use when working with the manure. Unfortunately, I can't really tow anything with that. Oh, come on, game. Work with me now. And also, I noticed that these have appeared. So we've got some new, well, we got some new graphical type things. I noticed there are some new signs that are located on the fertilizer, on some of those locations, and now we have an animal loading spot here. I guess some people were confused if they wanted to manually take the adult cows to be sold. You know, maybe had some questions about where you actually need to bring the wagon. So there you go. Animals loading section, but that's brand new to me, so I'm not sure how long it's actually been in the game, but either way, it is new to me. So I think that's going to do it for today. So we spent quite a bit of money today, but the good news is we're up and running on a new map in Italy. So moving forward, we've now gone to Japan and Italy. We're going all over the place. We're world travelers now, and so we'll be taking care of that for the next few videos, and we'll be leaving some of this farm work behind. We'll leave it on the back burner for now, and hopefully the developers will have some answers in the future that will allow us to get back to that. So thank you very much for joining me, and stay tuned for more as we continue our crazy gameplay series of Pure Farming 2018.